Hey everyone, so today we're talking with Chris Vandenberg of the Blaster Factory, War Machine, Paintball, and
Scott Juarez,
Field Marshal.
Props.
Yep. So we have kind of a cool video today. We're going to be talking about the Leia and oh my God, the Leia Blaster, the Margolin pistol.
Yes.
Leia Blaster from A New Hope, the one you
I
see
hold
her.
mine up. I gotta be careful. I've got two of these things. I got them all apart because I've been working on machining them. So
Yep. Is that the one I built?
yeah. Very cool. Still there? Oh, it froze up for a second. There you go.
No, I'm still here. You're still going.
Man, that's beautiful.
Is that the one that I built for Nick?
It is, and
Yeah.
I've been real careful because I've got it about unscrewed everywhere you can take it apart. Even the barrel's about to fall off here. I think I might. Oh, that's reverse threads. That was good.
Just for all the gun freaks, it's empty. So you can see it's not a live firearm right now. But yeah, so that is there. Here are two of the three that I know that exist in the whole world.
Yep.
As Leia pistols. You know, there's plenty of Margolins out there, but there's as Leia pistols, there's the two of the three.
Well, talking about the Margolin, yeah, there's not a lot of them out there because, you know, I've got two, and I did find another one, and well, I actually cheated on this one. I took the slide off.
Yeah,
you know, because one of them they got different slides, but I found this one, and holy crap, these things are not cheap.
No, they've gone up a lot. I got lucky and got mine early days when it wasn't too expensive.
What was it?
I think it was like 12.
Oh, you're looking at what, 4 to 5 now?
Yeah, I think 12. Yeah.
Yeah, that's serious. I mean, it is a super cool pistol, and I'm glad I run across it. Just, you know, it's kind of like going back to the Mauser and learning all these old vintage things. This is an intricate, well-made 22 pistol. I mean,
yeah,
I'm impressed because my experience with Russian machines, cars,
yeah,
any kind of mechanism is usually awful. It's usually terrible. So,
well,
yeah, but this is
before we
really,
get too far into that,
made. We'll get into that. So
before we get too far into that, the coolest thing is that you're making a replica based on the real ones. So everybody needs to stay tuned for that, because we're going to be discussing a giveaway later in the video, and there's going to be some stipulations for you to enter it and to be eligible to win. So stay tuned and listen to the whole video, because there will be a secret question within the video that you'll need to comment with the answer to be eligible to win. But yeah, so back to the pistol itself. Yeah, so the inventor of the pistol is Mikhail Margolin, and he was wounded at the age of 18 in 1924 in combat and became blind, completely blind.
wow.
He had no sight. And so after he recovered, he filed or went through the process to become a firearm engineer. And he made this and all his subsequent pistols without any sight whatsoever. In fact, when he was convalescing, he learned plastic modeling, like with clay and stuff like that. And that was like the revelation that kind of got him to feel that he could be able to develop things. So because he could mold things and shape them to his hands. And that could be why this thing is so comfortable in your hand.
Yeah.
Because
that's
grip.
Awesome. That's awesome. You did that research, because I wasn't aware of that about the builder, and now I'm even more impressed with the mechanism. I mean,
it's insane. There's cool
so
pictures
innovative.
of him. There's pictures of him with a little piece of wood where he's put like the trigger assemblies and the levers and sears and stuff with nails, so he could test how they work and just feel it. It's really crazy how he developed this stuff. And also one of the cool things was I was reading about the pistol. You know how the sight is high. The rear sight is part of the frame and not a part of any of the reciprocating mass. And it's high. So there's two reasons for that, is that the recoil doesn't affect the sight picture because the sight is stable with the frame. And by sighting high, it keeps you sight with your eye here, but it lowers the axis of the barrel closer to your shoulder to reduce muzzle flip.
We're silent. My stupid phone won't shut up. Okay, there we go. Okay. No, that's awesome. And you know what, Scott, that's actually one of the, I'm looking at mine now. That's this piece back here that he's talking about is actually one of my problems machining this. I still don't know how to get it on there. Must have a little rivet or something in there, but it kind of goes over the top and goes down into the frame right here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that real well.
Is it pinned?
It's got, yeah, but it looks like it might be welded pins or something. I'm not even going to try to take this off. I muted you. A stupid phone. Sorry, guys. Okay. But making the part won't be too bad, but I'm not able to get it off of there. Now, when I laser scan this piece, I have separated it in the geometry, but that's one of the problems. I haven't figured out in the replica how I'm going to reattach it to this thing. So that's one of the there's two things on here that are really neat, and now that you said that, I understand why he attached that to the frame, and that is super cool. I mean, that's impressive, actually. I've taken apart hundreds of firearms over the years, but yeah, that is very interesting why he did that. And
yeah, it's just and to think that he did it without sight.
yes, that's awesome.
And then this became a gold medal winning target pistol. And it became a collector because it was so successful. It became a collector item almost immediately after being released into the world.
Yeah. Well, you've got a real one in front of you, and I hope everybody out there eventually, in their life gets to see one up close. Just like a real broom handle Mauser, and that, because the details, I find that a lot of times in our modern society, we think that, we're so far advanced, but I'm going to tell you something, the craftsmanship, just like on that old broom handle, this may even exceed that. There's some intricate, beautiful little things he's done here with the sight and these little fine knurls and the micro engraving, and everything has a purpose on here. I love this, how it's got the little dial here. I hope yours is still functional on yours.
Mine is, yeah.
Look at that.
I have a 0.
Look at that little piece down there that's spring loaded that catches it. I hope I can reproduce that. I think that'd be really cool to have that on the replica. So
the finish itself is something I haven't really seen much in firearms either. It's like a black bluing.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like almost as if it's anodized, but it's not.
Yeah. And the light, I haven't seen, I think I've got a Beretta that's kind of done this way, an old Beretta.
Yeah, that sounds familiar, right?
Yeah, because this thing, normally when they do that, it's not this shiny. I mean, this thing's really, this.
And there were lots of
potential into it.
And if people get curious trying to look for these real ones, be aware that there are many variations. There's ones like you have one that doesn't have a threaded barrel, and you have one that does.
Yep.
They had slide variations. Some slides have little finger catches on them, so it's easier to pull back, which I think is on the one with their sight ramps have a little variation between.
Oh, say that again. It stopped. The internet stopped again. Say that again about the ramp there.
Oh, the sight ramp. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter.
Yep.
And then the slides, some of them have like a finger catch, like you have there on that one.
Yeah, and I actually found a few of these. so that I could actually do both. So
Right.
both variations.
And then the magazines are all different. And the magazines are fit per gun. They're numbered and fit per gun. Like
Yep.
my two are numbered for my gun. And I've tried this with some of the couple others that I've had. The magazines from that gun didn't fit in this gun and vice versa.
Yeah, you can see this one.
Yeah, what's the serial on that one?
This was 6369.
Mine is
Now my other one here. Now this
2934.
this mag in this gun was probably bought later because I don't think it went with this gun when it was bought. Maybe this was an extra mag, but
Well, they
it is
did have variations like that.
yeah, because this is not, you know, the bottom of it's not the right variant.
No, yeah, but they all had different stuff. Some of them had like a little swoop on the bottom and all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
I bet they don't fit in each gun, do they?
No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, they won't latch.
Yeah, mine are both numbered 2934 to match the gun serial number.
You know, this is another really cool thing I love about this pistol too, is I love old mechanisms, little monkey motion things. In the bottom, the catch.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a hole right here. You drill down in it, and there's a pin. Well, let's see if it goes through. Yep. The pin right here goes through both sides. And this little, which I pulled it, I found an extra one, so I have this out. I love how he fit that in there. And it is going to be a bitch to slide this in there, get the spring in position to get that little pin there. So I'm sure in assembly, that was an aggravating thing to do, which you should never have to take it apart after you get your pistol. But still, I love how he originally got this in this little teeny space down here.
Right.
And assembling it's not going to be fun.
For the replica though, you're not making a magazine anyway, right?
No. Oh crap, part of it fell off here. What I was thinking about doing is making the hole up through the frame. Okay, somebody wants to put electronics in it, and maybe doing the bottom, you know, doing a piece of metal like this,
Like a little cap,
a little plug or something. Yeah. And what I think what that'll enable it to do is there are some people out there with some Margolins who can't find, you know, the right, you know, bottom piece. So I'll make that so it looks right, and they can use that in their guns, and plus it leaves a ton of space up in there for, you know, whatever you got to do to put lights and sounds or whatever you want. Right. And it won't be a real firearm. It won't take a real mag. It will not be able to chamber anything.
You know, I noticed something. Some of them also have like a red coated hammer. Like the hammer is kind of a red color. I don't know if yours have that, but I've seen pictures of them.
I've got 6 or 8 hammers here that I have been lucky enough to find, and this is what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like a reddish color.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mine are both black.
Mm-hmm.
Well, which is another interesting thing is these guns usually come with some sort of case like this, which have a palm rest. They have.
Hold on, Scott. You dropped out again. Say that again.
So they usually came with a case, a fitted case for the guns. And mine in particular has a palm rest. Yep, there's a case.
Yep.
They got a really cool little screwdriver.
Mm-hmm.
The oiling can.
Yeah. And that's funny because there's a very similar one. You there? You dropped out again.
I'm here.
I think I've got a terrible internet connection, but that little oiling can, I've noticed that they typically did that in the SKSs and a lot of other Russian guns too.
Mine's got like extra springs and strikers.
Yep. I don't have that in any of my cases. I actually found them aftermarket.
I think this is a punch for driving out pins.
Yeah, it is.
There's a cleaning rod, an extra magazine, and this is for the Olympic shooting weights, counterweights. Mm-hmm. And those would go just on the muzzle.
Wow.
You would lock them down with a little screw, and they just add more weight so it doesn't recoil or flip.
Huh.
And it comes with different ones, different size ones for different, weights. But that was pretty cool pistol. Did I freeze again?
Yeah,
Oh,
it is. Sorry, guys. Terrible internet connection today. We'll get through it though.
well, mine's been rock solid. So my
No,
recording.
I think it's on my end this morning. We've had a little trouble, I guess.
All right. Well, we'll edit it either way. But yeah. So, and then when you put it in the Star Wars mode, all this steel adds a little bit extra weight. So it helps with recoil too. But even in this, you can sight down through the sight and shoot straight with it. It's fun. It's a fun gun.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? There's not a lot of conversion to it, to turn it into a Leia blaster after, you have the basic pistol,
Yeah. In fact, let's,
$4,000 or $5,000 firearm. It's not much more to it.
yeah. In fact, let's talk about that. So what makes it a Leia pistol is an extension, a tom tit cylinder, which you find on the Han Solo and Greedo blaster, lots of stuff. The tom tit cylinder is everywhere, but they put a tom tit cylinder here, some camera flash cord just to kind of hide that extension. And here I have a magnet, but at the time I did this, we didn't know what it was, but now we know it's one of those little switches that Chris of Parts of Star Wars discovered. And
well, Chris actually has them. He let me borrow them so I could copy them to put them on the Mir Son. But oh my God, those things they're so delicate. They're like little light covers. They're not actually buttons.
oh, okay.
They're like little indicator covers or something. But I couldn't talk him out of letting me have one, but they're pretty neat. So
well, at least you can copy it. So that's good.
I've already got them copied. So
well, there it is. So now we know exactly what that part is and the dimensions and everything. So in the real Margolins, the compensators come in a couple different variations too. Here's a short one, a factory one, and here is the long one. You can see it's a couple millimeters shorter. And the compensator slot, well, I guess if you put it, the slot's the same, it's just the back part is a little bit longer or shorter. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But this is the correct one for the Leia. They had a long one.
Yeah, I have the short one somewhere. Got so many boxes of parts, but I don't know where that went. I didn't really pay attention to it a whole lot. Oh, you there? Okay,
Yep.
Yeah. Talk about the threads, because you know what? You had mentioned this about this little extender piece or making it.
Yeah.
I need to make it and thread it correctly.
Right. And so those threads are left-hand threads. They're metric. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think I gave you the spec, but they're 10 by something. But they're left-hand.
They're left-handed M10.75s.
Yeah.
That's a first for me.
It's a fine thread. Yeah.
Yeah, very fine. But I actually did find the tap and die for that. So when we make that, I'll make it compatible so people can, if you do find a real Margolin, you can put those little front pieces on. So
yeah, but are you going to make them shoot through?
You there?
Yeah.
God, this internet's driving me crazy. Hang on a second, Scott. We'll have to edit that.
That's fine.
But you know what? The older I'm getting, the more I realize I love old shit because it doesn't freeze up. Old mechanisms, all this electronic gobbledygook keeps screwing up all the time. So we're highly dependent on it.
There's too many factors, unfortunately.
Where were we before I had a meltdown with electronics?
Talking about the compensators, I think.
Yeah. Yep. I'll make extra ones of those too.
Oh, I was going to ask, for those extensions that you make for people who might have a real one to thread on, are you going to make them solid?
Oh God.
Because the ones I had to make had to be shoot through, of course. Yeah. And I don't recommend that because then it becomes a firearm accessory instead of like an adornment.
Yeah.
But I would say there aren't going to be very many people who
I'm probably making that piece out of aluminum. And if I put a hole in it, it won't be for a 22. It'll be for a light, somebody to put an LED if they wanted to. You know how that is.
Yeah.
So
I would make it bigger just in case, because people can be not very smart.
Oh, you make it bigger than the bullet?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a possibility.
because otherwise,
Yeah,
someone might
it's
go,
definitely
"Oh, I
gonna be
can shoot
aluminum.
through
So if they
that."
stick an aluminum piece on their firearm, they're an idiot. I won't, I'll have to put some kind of disclaimer about that. Yeah, that's always a concern because I do know a few guys that have got Margolins that are looking for pieces. So
Which is good, because the compensators, they're not very many out there that are correct.
no,
And then an extension tube is, I guess it's sort of easy enough to make. I mean, I can make it, but still it has to be precision enough not to have too much, the tolerances are there. The bullet's got to be able to fly straight through it.
yeah,
And the compensator itself isn't rifled. It's just kind of a pass through.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I'll probably do it the whole foot. I mean, somebody, if they start putting them on firearms, that's at their own risk,
Yeah.
22, I'm not too worried about, but the compensator, I was making this whole thing out of aluminum. I know everybody wants me to do it steel.
Wait, I thought you said there was going to be a steel one.
There may be, maybe not on the first run, but I tell you, Scott, it's just like this Mauser. I hope you can see this in here. I don't know if you've had yours apart or not, Scott. There is a lot of very, very small detail and a lot of very, very special, especially down in the back here. Man, this is another part. It makes it so hard to machine it. This thing would take forever to machine in steel. There's a deep hole in the back right here that goes down.
Yeah.
And it's this part right here. And we'll get talking about this too. I've made all 4 springs that are copies of the springs that are in here. So the mechanism, usually on these things, I change the mechanism a little bit,
right,
when we're doing the replica. So they're not like the real one. This one's going to be really close because it is really cool. I had to copy it, but the mechanism in the back for the hammer is, it took me a while to wrap my head around what was going on. But with the limited space, he had to put a spring on the hammer. This is what's going on. If you can you see this?
yeah.
It would be attached right here. So when the hammer goes down, it's got this little offset little lever that's pushing down the back strap of the handle. It is so cool. You've never seen that, have you?
No.
Yeah, it's one of the most ingenious. And I figured he probably got to the back of the gun when he was designing it and went, oh crap, there's no room to put a spring on the hammer. And so he figured that out, and it was super elegant. I mean, but it is a deep hole that is not in the mag well right here. It actually, that piece is setting like right, let me see if I can line it up.
Well, oh, wow.
It'd be setting right here.
And the spring is way down here at the base.
Yeah, the spring is setting right here, on this guide, and this piece right here is hooked to the bottom of the hammer. Let's see if you can make sure you can see that. It is in the back strap of the gun. It is so cool. But
yeah,
I mean,
you can kind of see up
to get a hole down through there to do that in steel. Man, the machining on this thing is top notch. I mean, especially the date and times. It's just like I said on the Mauser and a lot of these old guns. Man, I don't know how they did this crap without CNC back then. Seriously. I mean,
yeah, and this came out in 1948.
It's insane. I mean, it's a lot of this stuff's difficult to do with my CNC equipment. So, it's I'm super impressed with it. I mean, that's why I fell in love with it. But yeah, well, after I learned how to make the thing in aluminum, I'll think about the steel one. But it'd be interesting to see if in the steel one it could be polished up to the level that the real one is and blued. Holy crap, that'd be interested to see that one day. I'm sure you'll figure that out. You'll have to figure that out, Scott.
it can be done. It's just how much work, you know.
Oh man, yeah. Well, you see on the Mauser, on that replica, machine and steel, there's rough edges and machine marks. I mean,
Yeah, but man, those things turn out so nice when they're done.
yeah,
They feel just like the real thing.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if anybody can see this little sign popped up on my screen that said "Internet's unstable today." Great, I've already figured that out. Thanks for warning me.
Well, at least on my end, it's been pretty solid. So
Yeah, it'll stop here just for a second, so it'll be a little goofy, but I think we're getting most of it.
well, I wanted to show this. I wanted to show a couple pictures. I'm sure you've seen them, but I was part just for the video. Let me share my. Oh, it's a host disabled participant screen sharing. I don't know if you can fix that while on the fly or not. If not, then forget it. I'll edit it in later.
Hold on. What's it called?
Screen sharing. I think you have to give me permission to do it.
Yeah. There you go. Is that it?
Let's see. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Now, can you see this? Did you freeze?
Internet connection's kind of crappy, but
Are
there
you
you
able to see my screen?
oh wow. That's a great shot, Scott.
So this is from the movie. This is actually a still from the movie. And you can see right here what I'm talking about. You see my little hand icon, the flared out slide. Yep. That's the flared out slide version. This
And we didn't know
one,
about that at first, did we?
not really, because
Because even on Nick's don't have that.
yeah, it was hard to tell one way or the other until we could see some different photos. But you can see there that magazine has got that slight flip down, it looks like.
Yep.
And that magazine is even serial numbered on the bottom.
Yeah. There's something written there.
And then of course you scroll up, you can see the Tomtit cylinder, the flash cord, and the little switch cover thing, and that's pretty much all there is to it.
Golly, look at Carrie's face. She's like a doll, man.
I know.
Wow.
I think she was everyone's first crush back then.
No kidding.
And then here's another picture of during the ceremony. Luke's got it in his belt right there.
Yeah, hold on. I haven't switched over here yet. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So both Luke and Leia carried this. What's interesting about this one is I don't know if that's, so you can see it's kind of yellow on top, that switch on the greebly, the square thing.
I'll say that again, Scott, because it just dropped out.
You see the square thing on the sight greebly?
Yeah.
It's yellow on top.
Oh, wow. You know,
So-
those switches, that they may have had different color tops on them.
Yeah.
I keep saying switch. It's not a switch. That thing's a little light cover, a little indicator light, little box.
Yep.
And the ones that we have typically seen have a little red cap, that's at the top for the light come through. Wonder if that's a yellow one.
Well, I noticed in Chris's Parts of Star Wars post, they had a picture of one that had a yellow top.
It's dropped out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, say that again.
So on Chris and Chris's Parts of Star Wars post, they had a picture of one with a yellow, translucent yellow part.
Yeah, that's definitely yellow. Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. But so that it was used by two characters in the same movie. But kind of neat.
Those are some great pictures, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. There's some other photos.
Oh, you done with that?
There's other photos here. Let me show you these. Do one more share real quick. here, now you go. These are some production stills. So you got, these are, you know, just some costume tests of Mark Hamill, but you got a pretty good shot of the gun there. And we'll talk about this, the Return of the Jedi as well, because it's not the exact same pistol, but it's very close.
Nice. Yes, the other one was that one's shorter. Is the barrel shorter on the
Return of the Jedi? So the Return of the Jedi, the barrel is shorter. It looks like it's probably just the same amount of extension before the before the compensator.
right?
And then the tom tit cylinders are set up differently. There's no sight greebly. There's some rubber bumpers on the side of the slide.
Yeah, they've got the tom tip back here.
The magazine's different, and the slide is a smooth slide, doesn't have the flares, which you can also see in that picture. So that's kind of cool. You're gonna make both versions, right?
Yeah. Yep, might as well. There's not a lot of difference between them, so
Not really, just greeblies, more or less.
yeah, and then putting this little flangey thing on the back of one of the slides. So
Yeah. So it's fairly simple as far as a prop goes, but it's really cool. I always thought it was neat looking.
I tell you, the next thing, if you done with that, you got that all. The next part of it, and the reason why this project's been this has been over a year or something since I kind of mentioned it and started. It's been more than that. It's been 2 years. Time's flown since I got this and started laser scanning it. And, you know, I might post that again too, the laser scanning process of this thing. In the side of it, and you've had the grips off yours, I assume. Have you ever looked underneath them?
One of them. I can't remember. I know I did, but they're easy enough to take off.
There you go. You're back. Yeah, the internet keeps killing me. Yeah, when you do that, you're going to see two really cool things, and I'll show you this side. Here's the safety. Okay.
Yeah.
This piece here pops up and down. Okay. And you'll never be able to see it probably in this, but on the top of this little lever catch here, got a little bit of knurling, and then a little bump back here where it, you know, allows the, you know, the safety to catch up in here. You can see that's a pretty good shot. Well, as I was looking at, I said, well, I'm going to have to find a way of making that, because that can't be machined. That's actually a very cool little stamped part. And yay, I had my stamping guy actually deliver these last week is why we're doing this video, because I wanted to show these off. But maybe you can see, can you see the knurling on that?
Oh,
Scott?
wow. Yeah.
A little
checkering.
Yeah. And had to get it formed, you know, see all the little different things it had to do to copy that.
Yeah.
Got that piece. That's done. Yay. Next piece. Now I got my trigger and spring out of here. Okay. And if you've got your grip off, you'll see this piece goes in here next. And this is what actually fires the pistol. See if you see it in the light there.
Yeah.
It's here. It moves back and forth when the trigger moves. Now, to fire this thing, the real gun, there's a catch right here. You see it?
Yeah.
A little bump right there. What that is, and thank God I found a parts kit, because I didn't know. I don't know how you can get that damn piece out.
I remember when we found that.
Yeah. Well, there it is right there. There's the actual. Don't drop it here. There's the sear. That's what catches the hammer.
Wow.
There's the little nub that little linkage goes back and flips back and forth to release the hammer. So we're actually going to have the real mechanism. So when you pull the trigger, it's going to flip this little lever forward and drop the hammer. Now, I'm not making it double action and all that other stuff. It's just everybody wants to be able to have their little fidget spinner and cock it and fire it. So that
yeah, well, this single action only anyway.
Oh yeah, this is single action. I'm sorry. That's the has to blow back.
You know what I discovered about this safety, right? Is when the slide is, when the hammer's hard, when the slide's all the way back, if you push it down even farther, it becomes a slide lock.
Mhm.
And then I don't know why it doesn't lock back when it's empty. There must be a reason for it, but that's a slide lock for some reason. And then you can just release it, and then it's still in safe.
Yeah,
So
that's cool. There's probably a lot of other little things we haven't discovered about this pistol. Seems to be little levers and things everywhere.
Yeah.
But the trigger mechanism super cool. And here's the little trigger spring and that lever spring. That's the other thing that I had to make and copy. And all my travels in the world and everything I've ever built, we as a society do not appreciate springs. And you see them and you just think they're nothing. They're cheap and easy to do. Well, here's the little tiny. Look at that go. That's the spring that goes right there on the release.
Yeah.
Little sear. I copied all these, and springs even they're made on these crazy machines that spin them and do all this cutting off stuff, and they're super high tech.
Yeah, they have to be tempered and all that kind of stuff.
Now, obviously, I didn't go through all that process for these because it's not a real firearm, but this is real, real spring wire, and these springs are $4 or $5 a piece. And I realized real quick in the world, somebody in one of my assemblies loses a spring, and they go, "Oh, just send me a spring," and you go, "Well, that's $12." Yeah. $12 for a spring. Springs are not cheap. So when you're looking inside your engine in your car or any other mechanism, I mean, the world, it does not work without these things that you don't think cost anything.
Right.
But I actually, down the road, Diamond Wire and Spring, which is one of the largest spring manufacturers in the USA, I took them the springs and they actually drew them up and copied them. So
wow.
I have 10,000 of every spring. So I'm going to be making these Leia blasters until the stars burn out.
There's another interesting variation that we should mention, and that's the slide stop thing. So this little piece right here, let me see if I get it on camera close enough. This little piece on the New Hope blaster is just like this. It's flat on both sides. And on the,
hold on a second, you dropped out, Scott. Can you hear me?
No. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, so on the New Hope one, it's flat on both sides, just like this. And on the Return of the Jedi, it's flared. It's got like a finger flare, like the one you have in your left hand.
Yep. See the difference?
Yep. And that is a pretty important distinction too between the two.
Yep. Yeah, and that holds in the spring, the recoil assembly, which you've had yours apart, right?
Yes.
You've had your spring, you've had that assembly apart.
Yeah, in fact, I made one of those things once.
Oh, here it is.
For my gun, I made one because I originally had a flared one and I wanted a flat one, so I made one out of steel.
Oh,
but if you, I don't know, it was hard to make because it's pretty intricate and it's got like little rounded edges and sharp edges, and the cuts are all specific.
Yeah,
and it worked, but
it's going in and locking down. It goes in between. Right in here, and it all locks this assembly, which is underneath the barrel.
And you think 22 is not like a hardcore round, but even this, I tried to harden it, but it's still got all bent up and this out of shape.
What kind of steel did you use?
I think it was just mild steel.
Yeah, you gotta do something, because that mechanism just coming back and forth and pounding on it would deform it over time.
Yeah, I tried to
harden
everything
on this gun's been hardened.
Yeah, but my garage hardening didn't do the trick.
Yeah. That's not easy to do. It really ain't.
Yeah, but I got the shape right.
Yeah, well, that's, for a prop. And I've got a few extras of those if you need one, for if you're going to keep it in your live fire.
No, well, the one that's in here is a factory one, so it's good.
Okay. Those are some really important pieces. I mean, those springs are important, the two stamp linkages, but everything else on this pistol cannot be done without the next thing I'm going to show you. These are the grips off of Nick's, and they still have the white powder that was on them for the laser scanning. I still haven't cleaned that off, but how's that? Is that detail coming through, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You see the diamond knurl and the shield in the center.
Yep.
Look at right here where the screws go through. Those are actually metal inserts.
Yeah, I saw that. They're like little washers.
I was attempting to do that. Way too hard, way too much money. And I've been telling people and putting people off for months and months and months and months about getting started on this, because until I molded the grips or found a way to make those, I ain't no use doing this project. And today, hearing you tell me about the original builder who was blind, this is one of the most ergonomic, good feeling pistols there is.
Perfect.
Yes, because of these grips. And I am very, very proud of these right here. You see those?
Oh, those are the new ones.
Yes. And if you notice, I did injection mold there it is. You can see it. The metal pieces.
Yeah.
Plastic, but I got the shape of them. So they're almost indistinguishable. Now the real grips, I guess these things are Bakelite or something, so they're different kind of plastic. But
that's what I was wondering too, because like it looks and feels like the same kind of plastics on like an old Blackguard.
Scott, you there?
Oh yeah, can't hear me again? Am I back?
You start out. Yeah, say that again. You dropped out.
So the material looks and feels like, the old Blackguard Telecasters, like the phenolic kind of paper plastic. It feels exactly like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, ergonomics. So this is that little hand brace that comes on it. And when I put it on there, it's like it's molded for my hand. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
The ergonomics on this is just really fabulous.
It's impressive. I mean, it really is. These grips, I mean, they're, and notice, this one obviously has, the thumb. This one's not, they're different.
Yeah.
I mean, the fingers, the thumb, everything is perfect. And of course, on the back of it, we got all the details that are on the real ones there too.
It's even not bad in the left hand if you're a lefty.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, your index finger just kind of rides up over that thumb indent. I wonder if they made a lefty version.
I hadn't seen it.
I haven't seen one either.
And I bet you, being communist Russia, you probably they sent you to the Siberia.
Lefty.
So
gulag for you.
Yeah, I'd be in the gulag because I'm definitely left-handed. So, and I can actually shoot either hand the same and switch eyes. So, I'd have probably been burnt at the stake or something. So.
You've just been discarded as a kid. Wait, what's he doing?
What an idiot,
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's going to be an awesome replica, but now we should probably talk about the contest.
Yeah. Yep.
So you guys, we're going to give one away. Part of this is Chris is going to make it and I'll finish it, and you'll get it free of charge. But to win this, you have to jump through some hoops. Here are the rules for the contest. Number one, you have to subscribe.
Hold on, you just dropped out.
Oh, okay.
Hold on the rules. I'm sorry, guys. Our internet connection today sucks. Start over. Say the rules again.
All right. So the rules to win the contest for one of Chris's replicas finished by me. Number one, you have to subscribe and ring the bell for both our channels, Mine is Scott Giveaway on YouTube, and yours is, I don't know what
Factory.
the Blaster Factory.
Yeah.
So subscribe to both channels. Like this video, comment on this video with the secret question, which is coming up. You can comment other stuff too if you like, but you do have to comment. So you have to be a subscriber on both channels. You have to comment on this video, which I don't know if we're going to put it on my channel or yours.
You can do it on both. Who's going to decide the winner? I mean, what's the final thing for that?
I guess I'll handle that. So do it on my channel. You guys got to like and subscribe on both channels.
Yep.
Like the video on my Scott Giveaway YouTube. Comment on this one, the Scott Giveaway video.
Say that again. It just dropped. The internet's terrible, guys. Sorry, today's sucking so bad. But
okay, so number one, subscribe to both channels.
Yep.
Like the video. Then you have to comment on this video, the Scott Giveaway YouTube video, with the answer to the secret question. You can comment other stuff, but the secret question has to be answered as well. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. On Instagram, it's the Blaster Factory, and on Instagram for me, it's Crucible Custom Props.
Yep.
And then Facebook the same. And then
we almost got through it. It stopped again.
It stopped again.
Yeah, no, I got caught it all the way up to the end.
Okay.
Also, I want to mention too, this is an ongoing project. This is going to be several months down the road, and I'll be like on everything I build, I'll be posting progress. So you know, you'll see it evolve. So you have to stay active with it. So
so follow us on Instagram and Facebook, both of those, and we'll have the links in the description as well. My Patreon supporters will also get an extra entry just because. And there's not too many of them, so don't worry, all you people who think that might be unfair. We make the rules, so it is our game.
Yes.
Anyway,
the main thing is just be active with it. That's really
right. And we'll constantly, each video that's coming up, we're going to mention this one back and link to it so you can come back and watch the whole thing and find the answers to the secret question. But here is how your comment for the secret question needs to be. You need to tell us who the inventor of the pistol that the Leia Blaster is based on is, what it was his name, and what year did the pistol debut. And that was also in this video. And then at the very end, name the two characters that use the blaster or are seen with the blaster in the very first movie, which is Star Wars, also known as A New Hope. So that's the rules. So those are the things you got to do. And just, if you're not sure, just rewind a little bit and you'll see what we just said. So that's it. So you can win one of these. It's going to be awesome.
Yep.
It's going to be a few months in the making, and we'll, in subsequent videos, we'll mention it and link back to this one so you can go back and get it. But those are the things, those are the hoops you got to jump through if you want to have one. Why so many hoops? Because it's expensive and people get lazy, and we're not just going to give it out to anybody.
Yeah. No lazy people. So, oh, hey, before we get off the channel, I'm going to just throw this in real quick. My Boba Fett pistol is almost done, about a week away. Well, not even a week away, but that's, you'll see the progress on Facebook. Yes, everybody, I'm thinking about the Marshall's blaster. I'm getting hammered with that one. And also, I don't know if everybody's. Yes, and that Horton metal one, they're starting to do the pourings on these, and this thing I'll probably have this out before the Leia because it's a lot further along. But I want to show that because that's not a resin cast or that other Horton variant that's not right. That's actually a casting off the right variant, scanned from the real one. So I loved how that come out. So
that's going to be cool.
Yes, and I've actually scoured the earth. I found a lot of the knobs and other greeblies, and you'll see that start happening here soon too. So
cool.
That'll be a fun one to build. Have you ever built a bowcaster for somebody?
No, mostly because there's no parts, and also it's huge.
It is huge. The parts, you know, of course, when I start deep diving into figuring out how to do something, everything I'm finding out there's freaking wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody makes these kits and none of it's right. So I've got all the other Greeblies and barrels and all that stuff scaled, and that's not a real hard thing to build. It's really neat how they did it, but you'll see that before long too. So
Yeah, it looks cool, but it's gonna be big. I never personally wanted one because I didn't know what I was gonna do with it.
you gotta have to hang it on the wall.
Yeah, gonna have to hang it on the wall. It's gonna be a big sucker, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, time you get the bow and everything on it, I'm surprised every time I get in another facet of the Star Wars build groups or something, I realize, man, there's a lot of people built those Wookiee costumes. Have you ever seen what goes into one of those?
Yeah.
My God, it's like impossible to do too. People do
Yeah.
it.
People do it. They built.
Yeah.
People have built almost everything so far
Yeah. Yep.
to some scale or degree.
It's impressive. There's more Wookiees out there than I thought there was. You know, it's surprising. So I love it.
It's gonna be pretty cool.
Well, we did another episode, Scott.
All right. Yeah, it's been lacking lately. The holidays and the pandemic shut down again, and just everybody's staying home. Oh, you know what? I had one of these sitting here this whole time.
There you go. Yep.
Anyway, yeah.
I've been kind of picking my pieces up as my entire desk is covered with all these little pieces of this pistol. There's a lot of parts to this thing.
I got weird, rare parts sitting around all over the place. I got like a cone knob sitting here. I got one of these, Grogu ball.
Is that one I made?
No, yours, the one you made is in the display cabinet over there.
Yeah.
I got an M1 clip here.
Yeah, with the stripper.
An end block clip. I got a Yoda lamp. My desk is just full of weird crap. I got Mauser lanyard ring.
Nice.
It's just funny, just all the stuff you got. Oh, I got a barrel that got cut off with one of the Mausers for live fires.
Yeah. Well, that is keep in mind, everybody, Scott, he takes commissions and builds stuff, and it's never ending. And it's amazing how many different things you do. And I'm seeing some of my phones blowing up over here, and everybody can see over here in the corner some of the paintball guns that we're working on.
Oh yeah.
I've got actually 7 paintball guns coming out over the next year. I've got 7.
Wow.
I've watched the entire industry for 20 something years steal me and Mike Wood's technology. I've been patenting the shit out of it, and we're going to reissue a whole bunch of stuff and show the world a bunch of new innovative stuff on that too. I know this is off Star Wars topic, but I may make a Star Wars paintball gun too. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I've been asked about that. I think maybe an E11 or something like that would fit it really well. So
wow. I just finished one of your aluminum Mausers with a guy asked me, the second one for the same person that I did had electronics in it. It went a little easier than the last time, but man, that thing is not easy to put electronics in. It's just, I think it's just because it's like a real Mauser, there's not much space to do wire and stuff like that.
And I told you those, I make so many at a time. The next time I do a run of those, I am going to try to cut a slot down the side to get to the pommel. Yeah, that's the problem. You can't slide the stuff in and with the wires there, right? Yeah,
that was really the only thing. The rest of it all kind of just, it fits, except for you just have to be really careful putting it together so you don't crimp wires and jack stuff up. But I found a better way to do it than I had been. So it went much smoother this time for sure.
Well, that's why you pay guys like you to handle it. Cause I'm going to tell you, I've got a lot of those, and I've actually been kind of messing with designing a soundboard, something super easy, blaster specific. And it's not, the wiring's a mess. I mean, it is, it's very time consuming. You spend a week painting something, you spend a week trying to get it wired up. I mean, there's to it.
Yeah. That and the power requirements for the current board, it just means that it eats up all the space. The battery pack, even at the smallest one, is just, it just takes up all the space.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, when you look at it, that Mauser's got the clip area, but there's, you know, there's not a lot of room in the grips. And even on this one, you know, the Leia,
Yeah.
I mean, you basically all you're going to have is here. You know, that's it.
That's not enough. It's just not enough room to put a speaker and a
Yeah.
power supply and the board. And I don't know how you do switches. Good luck
Well,
with that.
you know, I always, you know, a lot of the builds I do, I always try to make a spot. And I got that like you've seen in my super cool little micro switch that I use,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, for the Mauser, it works great. After
Yeah.
I learned how to do the switches like you were telling me, instead of
normally
normally
open,
closed, normally open.
closed. There you go.
Yeah. After I learned that, it's much easier. It's
Yeah.
it's counterintuitive to how the board works. You have to rethink, reprogram your brain to make it the combinations work for the menu stuff, but it works.
Yeah, instead of pushing the switch, you release the switch
Yeah.
on. Yeah. So, but yeah, this I didn't even bother putting a switch, you know, in this one, because I really, you know, I'm not going to say it's not going to happen electronics, because every time I think that somebody figures it out, but hey, you know, that'll be a challenge for somebody down the road. So.
Yeah. And I don't want that to be my challenge, folks.
Giving up on electronics.
Well, nah, I don't know. The problem is, it's so much work sometimes that I can't charge enough to make it worth my while.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell people no, because everything's possible with enough work.
Yeah.
It's just that's, especially when it's the first or second time you're doing it, you can never get your time back in what you can charge, because it takes me like 5 times longer to figure out and do than, you know, the 5th or 6th time.
Yeah. Well,
And it's just a lot of, it's not just that it's difficult sometimes, it's that when you get setbacks, like it's just the cussing and it's the stress, you're just like, oh God, I never want to do this again, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, we got another one under our belt here, and I'm sure we'll have we need to have another progress report probably in about a month. So
yeah, we'll have other videos that link back to this one for the contest, but should be cool.
Awesome.
So, but the contest will decide a winner when the finished product is ready to go out into the world, and that's when we'll announce that and everything, and we'll pick the winner, and then someone will be getting something cool.
Yeah, very cool. Scott Juarez with Crucible Props, and I'm Field Marshal with the Blaster Factory. So until next time, signing off.
All right, see you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.